What's going on, you guys? Rob's Way of the Highway here. And today is Saturday. In today's vlog, we're going to be talking about vehicle maintenance. Okay? If you've watched my previous vlogs, you'll know that I like to label things. Well, this doesn't stop at labeling, because there's only so many stickers you can stick on something, right? Today, I want to go into a bit of a discussion on what I do to maintain my vehicles and how I keep track of it. I've got three vehicles. I've got a Dodge Ram, I've got an electric plug-in minivan, and I've got an SRT6 Crossfire, which is actually Mercedes. It's 100% Mercedes. So that's a doozy right there. Because it was made by Mercedes in Germany. A whole nother video just on Crossfires. That's it's a cool car. So naturally you have a lot of overhead with anything gas powered, which is why I want all electric in the future. But don't have that now. Don't have the liberty to have it. It's too much money, all the things, right? So my way of doing it, I think is the best. I'm sure there's better ways. I'm sure there's people that are going to say, I don't like that oil. This is why this oil's better. I don't care. Okay? This is what I've done for the last 18 years or 20 years. How old am I? I'm 33. So since I've been 15. Do the math. Okay? This is how many years I've been doing this, and this is why I do what I do. And this is what I run. Let's dive right in. So, first things first, I do have an inventory shelf, okay? When I go out and I purchase stuff, I usually buy a lot of it because, number one, the cheapest place to get this oil is Walmart. And I hate Walmart. I'm like Walmart sober. I don't go to Walmart. I will gladly pay more to never, ever go to Walmart. Walmart is the worst. Don't shop at Walmart if you can avoid it, folks. Okay? That being said, all this Mobil 1 oil is a lot cheaper at Walmart. Like, these are $22 a jug. Anywhere else, they're like $40. So, like, they're like half the cost. So what I'll do is I'll go and I'll drop, I don't know, $300-$400 once every 5 years, and I'll just stock up, right? Obviously, this is, for the SRT, and then I've got, this kind for the truck, and then I've got another kind. What is this? 520. All three of my cars take different oil, so, why would that make sense to just have everything be the same? Well, because they're different vehicles. My performance sports car is obviously different than my electric plug-in minivan, so that being said, I keep track of everything. I've got things that matter, right? I've got extra spark plugs. I've got, this is a, I don't know what it is. I've got it written down, though. You've got sensors inside the Crossfire that go bad, and so you need new ones. So, oil filter for the minivan, oil filters for the Crossfire. I think I'm actually out of oil filters for the truck, but then everything that goes with it, right? All the ATF, and I've got more fluids and stuff in the garage. More spark plugs, dielectric grease, gasket maker. I just did an overhaul on my truck. I've got anti-seize, because when you replace spark plugs, you have to put anti-seize because the blocks are aluminum. So yeah, I've got everything kind of inventoried out, and I know exactly what I need. See, I've got air filters, I've got, oh, that's bar and chain oil for the chainsaw. Ha! Never mind. This is rear diff fluid. I've got a new rear end I'm putting in my truck. It's super heavy duty Yukon. You couldn't break it if you tried, and if you do manage to break it, they'll replace it. So I'm upgrading the rear end of my truck. But to go into this further, the organization that I keep is here on Google Keep Notes, and it allows both me and my wife to see it, right? So in here, I have everything documented. When I last did the spark plugs, when I last put new tires on, the oil, the brakes, the front axle, the right front axle went out, and I didn't want to do the work myself. I could, but I didn't want to, so I went to Bartels. And I jot down everything I pay, so that way, when I need to go sell the vehicle, I could show the next buyer, here's the service record, and here's why my truck might be worth $100 more than the next guy. I'm not saying that this is going to increase the value of your truck. I'm not saying that. But what I will say is this. The truck and the minivan I bought brand new. Obviously, the Crossfire I bought well, not obviously, because I could have bought it new, but I bought the Crossfire used. I bought it in Florida and I drove it home. I've put a lot of maintenance into the Crossfire. I keep an Excel sheet just on the Crossfire alone because it's a unique niche-y type of car. That being said, everything is documented here in Google Keep Notes. And if I may mention, again, there's a lot of ways of doing notes and keeping track of things. Oh, I don't like Google Keep because of this. And I don't care. This is my way of doing it. If you have a note system that's accessible by both you and your wife, or you and whoever else needs to see it, it just makes our life easier. My wife can look at this note and go, you know, Rob, it's been like a year, and it's been like 10,000 miles. You need to change the oil. Oh, crap. Because, again, people get involved in things, and you wonder why you see horror videos on YouTube, like, look at all this neglect, and, like, you know, they pull a drain plug out, and it's, like, sludge coming out because people, like, just neglect everything. Well, like, if you don't write this down, like, if you have one car, it might be a little easier, but I don't. I've got 3 vehicles, so you have to keep track of this. I've got a whole other notes section on my boat alone. Like, I just put new tires on the trailer of my boat. All that stuff's documented so that I know exactly what I spent, when I spent it, so then if I needed to sell it tomorrow, the guy's going to say, well, how are the tires? I say, well, the tires are great. Here's when they were replaced, and this is what I paid for them. So there's a value add there that you can't get if you aren't diligent. And some people may say, I don't have time for it. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, you're going to neglect something, and it's going to cause problems. And this is one way, this is my way to prevent that from happening. So going back to maintenance. So I had mentioned that I had just done a ton of work on the truck here at the end of January, right, into February. So I did, like, the trans, I did the transfer case, the front, the rear diff, obviously the oil. I did you know, everything is in here as to what it is, all the model numbers. I use all OEM fluids for my truck. Again, so people say, oh, you could get this from Valvoline, it's through the cost. I don't care. I have never had a problem with my Dodge Ram. Knock on wood. I've never had a problem with my minivan. It's almost 2 years old now. Okay? Or it's going on 2 years. It'll be 2 years in no, it is 2 years. It's over 2 years now, actually, because I bought it in April of 18. At the end of the day, I buy new vehicles, I just keep it a certain way. I have a certain way of doing things, and I've never had problems. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going to keep doing it the way I've been doing it. So I don't care that I can get oil for half the cost. This is my way of doing it. So again, going back to this here, you know, you've got, like, in this one here, you've got the Crossfire VIN. You know, I put a new water pump on it. I put a new valve cover gasket because it was leaking. I put everything. You know, I put everything in here of what it is. You know, I put a new cabin filter in. This needs to be probably in place. A to-do list of all the things that are wrong with this super old car. And then same with the minivan, right? Like, the minivan's pretty new, so, you know, I probably should get an oil change because it's over a year now. Although we haven't been driving it, and when we do drive, it's all electric mode, right? So, recalls. I put all the recalls I do in this notepad, so that way I know if it's done. The electric van, we don't ever really use the gas on it, so it's kind of hard there. Let me know in the comments below, like, what happens if 3 or 4 years goes by and I don't change the oil in it? And the oil's still 3 or 4 years old, but I only use a couple thousand miles in 3 or 4 years on gas because we don't ever exceed the range of the all-electric only. So that's something I don't know about. But yeah, this is my way of doing it. I keep track of everything. I keep track of part numbers, because at the end of the day, it's like, oh, look at that, another 65,000 miles has gone by, or whatever it is. I need new spark plugs again. Crap, what type of spark plugs do I need? If you document it, you'll know. And you can just go on Amazon and order the spark plugs and call it a day. Although I will say this, with the Dodge Ram, I will gladly pay someone to do my spark plugs, because it was a biatch to get those spark plugs changed. You have to be a contortionist, and you have to have a lot of proprietary little bendies and sockets to get down where you got to be to change the spark plug. So, never again I will be hiring the next person to change the spark plugs on my truck. I can tell you that. Coil packs, all that. That's about it. Tires, rotation of tires. How old are the tires? I just put new tires on my truck not too long ago. I got BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrains. Whole other video just on tires in the truck alone. But this is some of the overview of what I do for maintenance and why I do it the way I do and how I organize and keep track of it. And I suggest you do the same. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your time.